Good day to who's watching this video presentation. We are the Group 1, or as we call ourselves, the Skylarks. I am Rands Iverson Reyes, and with me is Mr. Herbert Briton, Mr. Adrianne Pesayco, and Mr. Montalla. In this video, we will be tackling about the fuselage and the nozzle structure of an airplane. The fuselage is the main structure or body of the aircraft. It provides space for personnel, cargo, controls, and most of the accessories. In addition, the power plant, stabilizers, and landing gear are attached to it. The fuselage is the central body portion of the aircraft. It is designed to accommodate the crew and the passengers or cargo. The fuselage or body of the airplane is a long hollow tube which holds all the pieces of the airplane together. The fuselage is hollow to reduce weight. As with most other parts of the aircraft, the fuselage is normally determined by the mission of the aircraft. For example, a supersonic fighter plane has a very slender, streamlined fuselage to reduce the drag associated with high-speed flight. Another one is an airliner. An airliner has a wider fuselage to carry the maximum number of passengers. On an airliner, the pilots sit in a cockpit at the front of the fuselage, while the passengers and cargo are carried in the rear of the fuselage, and the fuel is usually stored in the wings. For a fighter plane, the cockpit is normally on top of the fuselage. Weapons are carried on the wings, and the engines and fuel are placed at the rear of the fuselage. There are three types of fuselage according to construction. First is the truss-type construction. A truss-type construction is a rigid framework made up of members such as beams, struts, and bars to resist deformations by applied loads. Next is a monocoque construction. A monocoque construction uses formers, frame assemblies, and bulkheads to give shape to the fuselage. Another is a semi-monohull construction. Like the monohull construction, it also consists of frame assemblies, bulkheads, and formers. But, additionally, the skin is reinforced by longitudinal members called longerons. Further details about the types of the fuselage construction will be discussed on the succeeding slides by my group mates.
Hello everyone, my name is Herbert Briton, and now I will discuss to you one of the three types of fuselage constructions, which is the truss type construction. So first, what is the truss type? A truss is a rigid framework made up of members such as beam, struts, and bars to resist deformations applied to it. The truss type fuselage frame is usually constructed of steel tubing welded together in such a manner that all members of the truss can carry both tension and compression loads. So basically, a truss type construction can withstand tension and compression loads when it is applied to it. It is also said here that most early aircrafts using this technique with wood and wire trusses, and this type of structure is still used in many lightweight aircrafts using welded steel tube trusses. So up until now, many single-engine aircraft still uses the truss type constructions like the Cessna and Piper aircrafts. So as you can see here, the truss type has three main members, which is the longerons, the diagonal web members, and the vertical web members. The primary members of the truss are four longerons, which connects the vertical and diagonal web members and contributes with the structural integrity of the truss type construction. So now let's talk about the two types of truss type structures, which is the Pratras and the Warren truss. So first, the Pratras. The Pratras is a truss structure in which the longitudinal members are separated by vertical members that carry only compression loads and diagonal members that carry only tensile loads. Most fabric-covered airplane wings are built with the Pratras. So used in the early days are the Pratras, and it can be built using wood and metal structures. The downside of a Pratras is that it has a large amount of weight and it is difficult to streamline because of the vertical and horizontal members added to it. So one way to differentiate the Pratras with the Warren truss is it has boxed with tubular longerons and vertical members. So now, the Warren truss and the monocoque structure will be presented by my group mate Adrian.
Hello guys, I am Adrianne Pesayco and I am reporting about a type of fuselage which is called the Warren truss. So what is Warren truss? Warren truss is a type of engineering truss employing a weight-saving design based upon equilateral triangle. So as you can see on the PowerPoint presentation, Warren truss is composed of longerons plus diagonal members only. And Warren truss is capable to carry tension and handle compression. And Warren truss reduce amount of web work, which is nice. And what we like about Warren truss is it provides more space, strength, and rigidity. So another type of fuselage is monocoque. So monocoque is a French word that means single shell. And as you can see on the left side of the screen, all the loads are taken by stress with just slight internal frames or formers to give the required shape. To be a true monocoque, the structure would have no apertures at all. Although it practically can carry more load, the drawback of this type is that it may require maintenance more compared to the other designs, as the structure needs to be reinforced in order to maintain the structural integrity. In this method, the exterior surface of the fuselage is also the primary structure. A typical early form of this was built using molded plywood. A later form of this structure uses fiberglass, cloth impregnated with polyester and epoxy resin, instead of plywood as the skin.
Hi, I'm Mcnille Montalla, and for the continuation of the types of fuselage, we have here the SemiMonohull. SemiMonohull construction, partial or one-half, uses a substructure to which the airplane skin is attached. The substructure, which consists of bulkheads and or formers of various sizes and stringers, reinforces the stressed skin by taking off some of the bending forces and stress from the fuselage. Next component of an aircraft is the nacelle. Nacelle comes from a French word which means little boat. In simplest terms, a nacelle is analogous to the hood of a car, cylindrically shaped. The nacelle forms the outer aerodynamically smooth covering a jet engine. Nacelles are complex assemblies of multiple curved panel components of varying thickness that are fitted together to encase the engine. In addition, the nacelle is the essential component or an end complement to the engine, with which it constitutes the aircraft's propulsion system. It optimizes the airflows through the engine and protects the engine from any aggression. The nacelle must be accessible for maintenance and repair work. Engine nacelle consists of skin, cowlings, structural members, a firewall, and engine mounts. In summary, a nacelle refers to the housing of anything on the outside of an aircraft. Different aircraft structures, components, or configurations have their own advantages and disadvantages. When to use and what to use is very crucial. This is Group 1 reporting. Thank you.